academic processional.
Good evening. Welcome to the 2020 Convocation of Catawba College. Most of you don't know me. I'm David Nelson. I'm your 24th president, and I'm so privileged and honored to have been invited by the Board of Trustees to join the Catawba family. Convocation is a tradition by which we call together the learning community, that is Catawba College, to commence the academic year. And it is my privilege as your president to convene the college for another year. So by the authority vested in me by the Catawba College Board of Trustees and the state of North Carolina, I declare the fall semester for the 2020-2021 academic year at Catawba College officially convened. I now ask our college chaplain, the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Clapp, to come to the podium for our invocation.
Please join with me in prayer. God of all creation, we bow before you, filled with a sense of awe, as we are reminded of all the wonderful blessings you have so graciously and generously bestowed upon us. We feel a sense of excitement and anticipation as we begin a new academic year. We also know a sense of fear and uncertainty that renders us needful of a source of hope and understanding. Great and wonderful God, you are that source of hope. Only as we turn to you and put our trust in you can we have our fears assuaged. Awake within each of us a sense of responsibility sufficient to surpass the selfishness which manifests itself in our putting our convenience, pleasures above the needs others. Cain sought to be freed of the fate of his brother, but you responded with a jarring proclamation of Cain's responsibility. We know you call upon each of us to be our sister, our brother's keeper. Give each of us the nudge, if need be, give us the kick to get us to behave in ways to keep our brothers and sisters, Catawba family, and our world family safe, and to be a part of bringing an end to the pandemic rather than contributing to making it worse. Mighty One, some see in COVID-19 your way of punishing your people who have forsaken your ways and abandoned your love. But the tremendous gift of your Son, Jesus Christ, has revealed to us you are a God of love. We know you are hurting over the pain and difficult times being experienced of your children. Help us recognize and realize when we abuse your creation and fail to trust one another with respect and equality, we bring pain and turmoil upon ourselves. Forgive us, dear God. Soften our hearts and drive from them the greed, the selfishness, the pride, the desires to have power, the tendency to make objects of others rather than celebrating the humanity you have created in us all. The spirit of collaboration, we implore you to bless us on the journeys we now began in this new semester. Protect us, guide us, grant us the incentive to study and work hard, and may we embrace one another in true and meaningful fellowship and caring. I offer this in Christ's name.
Thank you, Dr. Clapp and President Nelson. On behalf of the faculty, I'd like to add my welcome to each of you as we start that 170th academic year. We are excited not just for our returning students to have their familiar faces back in Salisbury, but for our new students, both first-time freshmen and transfer students who are joining the Catawba community. I also want to extend a welcome to new faculty and staff joining us in different departments at the college. If you are a new member of the Catawba community, whether a new student, staff, or faculty, please stand so that we can welcome you. We also welcome an important group of students, our junior marshals, for the 2020-2021 academic year, who are assisting not only in today's opening convocation, but will assist throughout the year on special occasions in the life of the college, particularly in activities surrounding commencement in May. Related to our junior marshals is the academic mace of Catawba College that is carried by the senior-most faculty member, the senior marshal. The origination of the academic mace dates back to medieval times, when it was first used as a weapon. By the 16th century, the mace was outdated as a weapon on the battlefield, but it remained a powerful symbol of authority and was embraced as a ceremonial object by colleges and universities. Additionally, the senior marshal of the college, who is the senior member or longest serving member of the faculty, like our own Dr. Renee McCatherine, she carries the ceremonial mace. In early times, marshals were associated with military commands or civil authorities. Think of field marshals or fire marshals. Early academic marshals used the mace to protect the president of the college from either rowdy students or angry local citizens. In her duties as senior marshal, Dr. McCatherine is assisted by the college marshal, Professor David Pulliam. Please give him a hand as well. And he is assisted by the junior marshals, who give direction to the faculty, graduates, and others during formal occasions of the college. These junior marshals are chosen from the junior class based on academic rank. They embody the best of Catawba College in both academic achievement and service to our community. President Nelson will now commission the day program Junior Marshals for the 2020-2021 academic year. I would now ask the candidates for Junior Marshal, please rise and make your way to the track in front of the podium. President Nelson, I ask you, those members of the junior class, to be commissioned as Catawba College Junior Marshals for the 2021 academic year.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Catawba College, I commission you, Catawba College Marshals, with all the rights of that office. As a symbol of your office, you have been presented with a medallion engraved with the likeness of Hedrick Hall. Congratulations to you all.
Junior Marshals, if you'll turn around and look at the crowd, and if the crowd will please join me in congratulations once again, the 2021 Catawba College Junior Marshals. Thank you. It is also my honor to introduce the officers for the 2020-2021 year of Student Government Association. First, Ms. Alexandra Snyder, who is serving as president. Mr. Alan Alford, who's serving as vice president. Ms. Orion Malou, who's serving as secretary. And Ms. Oluwa Bakimi Fawahimi, who is serving as treasurer. At the Spring Awards Convocation, these officers were recognized, but today they will take the oath of office for their respective positions. I would ask the SGA executive officers for this academic year to come forward and face the audience. Officers, if you will repeat after me, I insert your name. Do solemnly promise to uphold and abide by the Constitution of the Student Government Association and to promote and protect interest of the constituents of Catawba College. Please join me in thanking the SGA executive officers for their service. Thank you. You may be seated. Now we will have a series of speakers who will bring greetings to the college. First, SGA President, Ms. Alexandra Snyder, will offer welcome on behalf of the Student Government Association, followed by Mr. Bill Graham, Chair of the Board of Trustees. Dr. Maria Vandergriff Avery, Professor and Director of the Honors Program, will bring greetings as the Chair of the Faculty Senate. And Mr. Jonathan Bowles, a member of Catawba's class of 2016, will share words of welcome as a representative of Staff Council.
Greetings, Catawba family. I welcome you here on behalf of the Student Government Association. My name is Allie Snyder, and I am serving as your SGA president for this academic year. I hope that you are all settling in comfortably and looking forward to this semester. Although amidst unsettling times, I know that we are a community who can and will get through anything together. And by together, I mean laughing together, crying together, talking together, and creating change together. The Student Government Association exists to create change and to amplify student voices by advocating on behalf of students from all walks of life. It is our goal and aim to make your college experience excellent, as well as to provide you the opportunity to lead and serve your community and fellow students. I am and always will be readily available to you as a resource, advocate, and even as a friend. I encourage you to join SGA as we work to ensure the student voice is never lost. Students, faculty, staff, and community members. As you go about your day and enter this new semester, I ask that you always remember, you have a voice and it matters. Thank you.
Good evening. You're there? Hello? How's everybody? Come on, you can do better than that. Come on. My name is Bill Graham, and I'm chairman of the Board of Trustees of Catawba College. I don't think we've ever done this way before. There's a lot of new news in this academic year. But before I get into a couple of remarks I wanted to make, the first thing I wanted to do is bring you greetings from the Board of Trustees. Welcome, freshmen. Freshmen, raise your hand. Come back to you in a minute. First thing I want to do is welcome Dr. David Nelson and his wife Kimberly to Catawba College and to the Salisbury community. Welcome. I think this is your first official act. I would also like to thank a gentleman sitting to my right, Dr. Ken Clapp. Dr. Clapp has been with the college for many years. I'm not suggesting that he's aged, but he is the most dedicated, loyal, and undying servant of this institution. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to thank him for his service as interim president of this institution. Next, I want to thank someone who is up at the top, my vice chair, Bob Arnold from Hickory, class of 71, who chaired the search committee that brought David and Kimberly to Catawba, and his vice chair, Mark Alexander, who is in Florida currently, but they've done a fantastic job in the search and bringing David and Kimberly here, and I wish to thank them officially and formally at this time. Thank you. Next, the field that you see that we're on right now is brand new. Spent most of the summer, Larry Luckenby and his crew, our athletic director, working hard to get this field in place with the hopes of playing football this fall. While that may not happen, but I don't want this to go unnoticed that this field is a gift from Greg and Missy Alcorn of Salisbury, and the dedication of it will be at a later time, but I wanted to make sure that everyone recognizes Greg and Missy for their wonderful contribution for the establishment of this field. I just wanted to let you know, if it rains, you all will be wet, but the field will be dry. The freshmen that I mentioned earlier, we know that this is unique for you, and that a lot of you missed your graduation. We know that that happened. We also know that we want to keep you here, all of you and all your returning classmates. So earlier today, it was announced that UNC Chapel Hill is going virtual. Everyone's got to go back to this campus, pick up their stuff, and go back home. We don't want that to happen here. So I know it's the tendency of young to break the rules, but please, the more you dedicate yourself to following the rules, as many of you are right now, the longer you stay. So our collective goal here now is to make it to Thanksgiving. We wish no one to get sick, no one to spread the virus. This thing is very, very contagious. I know, I had it, and I've gotten over it. But please, follow the rules. Protect your teammate, your classmate, faculty members and staff, and have a wonderful, wonderful semester. Finally, you reached an institution that is dedicated to the service of each one of you. Your faculty is fantastic. Staff is dedicated. And we hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful semester and stay safe, but most of all, stay healthy. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So good to see you all. Welcome to the 2020-2021 academic year at Catawba College. We are so excited to meet those of you who are new to our campus and to see those of you who are returning again. Although this year will be different in many ways due to the pandemic, one very important thing remains. Your Catawba College professors are wholeheartedly invested in your education. We are excited about working with you, challenging you intellectually, supporting you, and having a front row seat to the academic, social, and cultural transformation you will make while you are at Catawba. When I was asked to greet you on the behalf of the faculty, I decided to reach out to several of my colleagues from all across campus to ask them what kind of advice they have for you as you begin this unusual academic year. I spoke with our most well-seasoned, experienced the newest members of the faculty, and a whole lot of faculty in between. I think you will find their advice useful. I know I do. Like any good social scientist who works with qualitative data, I reviewed their advice to see if any general themes emerged. And I noticed 4 major areas of advice. Advice about how you should approach this semester. Advice about how you should treat other people. Advice about how you should take care of yourself. And finally, advice related to what your professors are thinking about you. So, first off, how should you approach this semester and academic year? We encourage you to engage, to be committed, to be willing to try things, to be present and in the moment, to be flexible and willing to go with the flow. Perhaps more important this semester than ever. To persist and never give up trying to understand. To ask questions. To stretch yourself intellectually. For this semester and this year to be successful, we also need to think beyond ourselves and think about how we treat others. We encourage you to offer grace, to be kind, show gratitude, to be empathetic and aware of others' needs, be compassionate, be considerate of others, and ultimately take care of each other. In addition to caring for others, you must take care of yourself. We encourage you to go outside, to unplug. Those of you who are looking at your phone right now, unplug. To just breathe. Right? Because as one of your professors noted, rest and recovery are essential to the process for all of us. Finally, it is important for you to know a few things about us. We want you to know that we have your back. And we want you to succeed, we want you to learn, and we want you to own your education. As one of your professors insightfully noted, this year is going to be hard for all of us, but we're in this together. We look forward to seeing you in the classroom, seeing you online, and or a little bit of both. Have a wonderful semester and an extraordinary year.
Good evening, Catawba family. On behalf of all the staff and staff council, I would like to welcome our new students to the family and say to the returning students, we've missed you greatly. This semester offers us all many challenges as well as opportunities to not only grow, but grow together. Being a proud alumnus of this college and now staff member, I would be remiss if I didn't emphasize the important role this campus community can play within your exciting educational journey and personal development. Each day holds potential to make a meaningful difference in the life of another person. It is my hope this semester we all will individually strive to be courageous enough to not only seek to know others, but also let ourselves be known by others. Wherever this greeting finds you today in your educational journey, don't forget to set aside time to build those important relationships with your faculty, staff, and fellow classmates. Take advantage of the resources this community affords you, because you can never know what kind of opportunity awaits you. It is with much anticipation as we begin this new academic year, I say to you all, welcome home.
Let's recognize all the musicians, all the staff who made this outdoor event possible, including Amy Williams from the President's Office, Larry Leckenby and all the athletic department, Franny Taylor in conferences, and all people who not only organized it, but came out and dried your seats just a bit ago to make sure that you could be comfortable. Thank you to you all. In third grade, at the Westview Elementary School in North Glen, Colorado, my teacher asked my class a question. She asked us all to share what we hope to be when we grew up. I recall different responses from my classmates. Some wanted to be a fireman, others wanted to be a police officer, some wanted to be in business like their father, others wanted to be a teacher like our teacher. I recall the girl sitting next to me saying she wanted to be a scientist and become an astronaut. I thought she was especially aspirational. I was a shy boy, quite introverted, and I had a bit of a moral conundrum at that moment. I didn't know to call it that, but that's what I had. I knew what I wanted to be. Perhaps I would have even said I knew what I was called to be, but I was embarrassed to say it. So should I tell the truth, or perhaps make up something so my classmates wouldn't laugh at me? Given that the most potent force in my moral development at that time was my mother, lying was not a particularly good option. So I quietly spoke the truth. I want to be a priest, I said, a Roman Catholic priest. Snickers and laughter ensued, as I feared, but my teacher hushed my classmates and moved on to the next person. I really don't recall what anyone else said after that. Instead, I retreated to my inner world where I spent much of my time, and I mused that I hadn't exactly told the whole truth. Yes, I wanted to be a priest, but my real aspiration at the ripe age of 9 was to become the first American to be the Pope. See, you think it's funny too. Well, I'm not the Pope, not even a priest. But I do continue to have a sense of calling. And that sense, twisting and turning through life in ways I never imagined at the age of 9, or at the age of 18, or at the ripe old age of 22, has led me here, to Catawba, to be with you all at this convocation today. As I noted previously, a convocation is a time of calling together for the beginning of an academic year. Convocation is important for many reasons, but even more so for this year. Because in case you hadn't noticed it, this is no ordinary year. Now, in some ways, the year is ordinary. You registered for courses, you've gone through the routines of moving on to campus or near campus, you're preparing for classes to start tomorrow. But in significant ways, this year is extraordinary. We spend much of our time with our face covered with these things. They should be covered, by the way. We're keeping our distance in abnormal ways. We have different, unfamiliar paths in and out of and through familiar buildings. Some of our usual activities have changed or they have been curtailed altogether. we won't be gathering for football games in this stadium, or soccer, or volleyball, or cross country, or tennis, or golf. Performing arts will look very different than usual. Your classrooms will be more spread out. If in person or outside, some of your courses will be either virtual or a mix of virtual and in person. We're in a world where just getting a meal means doing things very differently. Indoor gatherings are difficult, so yes, we'll be outside more. I hope you will be. Again, though, keeping our distance from one another. It is unusual in many respects. It is also unnatural, isn't it? This is extraordinary. I said when it was announced that I would be the 24th president of Catawba College that and I'm quoting myself, I am confident that the extraordinary people at Catawba, along with the Salisbury-Rowan community, will meet the extraordinary challenges ahead of us with energy, creativity, and resolve. I meant that then, and I believe it even more so now as I get to know more and more of the Catawba family. So today we are called together to begin this academic year. I'm calling our academic community together, and I am also calling us to some particular things. In the midst of these extraordinary circumstances, I'm calling for each of us to be extraordinary. I'm calling each of us to do our best work. I'm calling each of us to be our best self. And I'm calling on all of us to love with extraordinary love. I call you to do your best work this year. Beyond the ordinary pressures and distractions of an ordinary academic year where you're faced with decisions about how to spend your time, how to complete coursework, as well as being involved in things like athletics or the arts or clubs, as well as all the social aspects of college life, these are significant pressures in themselves. And to that, we've added a pandemic. So there are additional pressures that will challenge you, that might keep you from accomplishing all you set out to accomplish this year, whether it's in the classroom, on the field or court, or on stage. But a different year doesn't have to mean defeat. It may mean focusing on different goals. Stay focused and do your best work. The challenges we face this year are opportunities to do extraordinary work in extraordinary times. So I call you to do your best work. I also call you to be your best self. Now, I suspect that many of you are at Catawba College because of some variations of answers to the question of what you want to be when you grow up. I believe, perhaps to the chagrin of some, that it's perfectly fine if you don't yet know what you want to be. If you do know, I'm willing to bet your sense about that may shift somewhere along the way. Remember, I'm not the Pope, and I'm not even disappointed about that. Life is uncertain. That's okay. But what I do want you to be when you grow up, and what I want each of us to be this year, is our best self. With all the uncertainty of the days, with the grief that comes from the losses that we face due to the pandemic, there comes fear and anxiety and weariness. That sound familiar? We wonder if we'll really get to stay through the semester. We wonder if we'll get to compete and perform concerts or plays. We wonder what the world will look like in months to come. And some of you, no doubt, are anxious and fearful about what life will look like a year from now after you've graduated and begin the next phase of your life. Hopes have been deferred in many ways. You've imagined yourself on the field, on the pitch or track, the court, the course, the stage, or in the hall, in the laboratory. You've spent the summer hoping to get back to those things that make the Catawba experience so special to each one of you. Like you, I'm disappointed. I want to see you compete and perform and explore ideas with one another and excel in every way you can imagine and beyond. And if we are careful, and if we live extraordinarily in the months to come, we have our best shot at seeing some of those hopes realized for us all. So be at your best. Take care of yourself. Be wise about what you choose to do and not to do. If you think that going to a party with a lot of people and not wearing a mask is wise, think again. Take care of yourself. Whatever momentary pleasure certain activities might bring, it won't be worth it if you and others become ill, and then the entire community is put in jeopardy. And I'm not overstating it to put it that way. Be your very best. That always matters. It matters now more than ever. So I call each one of us to do our best work. I call each one of us to be our best self. And I call each of us to love one another. How we each live and move amidst the campus community doesn't affect only ourselves. Our decisions and our actions in this world rarely affect only us, but that is more pronounced than at any point in our lifetime. Whether I wear my mask, keep physical distance, routinely wash my hands, and keep the campus clean has an impact beyond myself. Your choices may affect a student, a staff member, a faculty member, or a member of the Salisbury community. So please, be careful, be respectful. You may not want to wear a mask. I know I don't. But then it really isn't about me. I wear a mask so I won't harm another person. I keep my distance to protect others. I wash my hands. Well, actually, I'm a hand washer, so I wash my hands for myself. But by doing simple things like this, we're caring for one another and we're answering the call to love. You are called together for the 2020-2021 academic year in the learning community that is Catawba College. Do your best work, be your best self, and love one another. Before we carry on, I want to say a thank you to all of those essential personnel who, while everyone departed campus last spring, stayed at work to ensure that facilities were cared for, that those students who had to remain on campus were cared for, and that we could all be prepared for this semester. A big thank you to all those essential personnel. Thank you to the faculty and staff who worked so diligently throughout the entire summer to create a plan to get us to the point we are today. Now, we owe it to them to follow that plan and get through this year. A big thank you to our faculty and staff. And thank you, students, for returning to campus, taking the Catawba Pledge to care for yourself, to care for others, and to care for the entire community. I'm extraordinarily grateful to be your president and to be here with you in this learning community. We will get through this extraordinary time, and we'll get through it well only if we all work together. So remember, we've been called together, we've been called to do our best work, we've been called to do our best, to be our best selves, and we've been called to love one another, and David Nelson is not the Pope. I now welcome Provost Lowry to the platform along with Allie for the recitation of the Honor Code. Thank you.
In a few minutes, we will all recite the Catawba College Honor Code. But before we do, let me share that living and acting honorably is an important and highly valued aspect of life of the college community. As a member of the Catawba College community, students, staff, and faculty, our honor code emanates from the 4 words found on our seal: scholarship, character, culture, and service. We often think of honor code as being in the classroom where scholarship is done in an ethical and principled manner by not cheating, plagiarizing, or committing academic dishonesty. Temptations to be less than honorable are always there, cramming for that exam, checking out a website about a paper topic the night before the paper is due, filling a smartphone with some reminders, and now I've just given you a whole bunch of ideas. Sorry. The Catawba College Honor Code should speak directly to the kind of character we all want to represent, to each other and to our greater community. It signifies a sense of responsibilities to ourselves, to each other, and our institution. Our honor code should underpin the campus culture in promoting the values of intellectual and practical integrity, of promoting the common good for all. And in doing so, we promote this value of service that we ultimately hope to allow you, our future Catawba graduates, to achieve your highest potential. The Catawba College Honor Code is located in the opening convocation program, which is available for viewing in our My Catawba app under Orientation. For those who are able to stand, I invite you to do so, and I ask SGA President Alexandria Snyder to come forward and lead us in reciting the Honor Code. President Snyder.
Please join me in saying the Honor Code. As a member of the Catawba College community, I will uphold the values that ground our institution. I will not lie, cheat, or steal.
Where are all the returning students at? Raise your hand. You get to help teach the new students how to teach honor alma mater. So please stand, remain standing for the alma mater found in the program in the My Catawba app.
You can be seated. We're about to enter a brief time, minutes of quiet observance, having a vigil, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, marked by what I hope are some encouragements for us to transform our culture. As we begin the time of vigil, we welcome Destiny Stone, a Catawba College alumna. Welcome, Destiny.
Lift up your faces, you have a piercing need for the bright morning dawning for you. History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not be lived again. Lift up your eyes upon this day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dream, Maya Angelou, on the pulse of the morning.
On reflection, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. Mark Twain.
On unity, we, the people, recognize that we have responsibilities as well as rights, that our destinies are bound together, that a freedom which only asks, what's in it for me? A freedom without a commitment to others, a freedom without love or charity or duty or patriotism is unworthy of our founding ideals and those who died in their defense.
Empowerment. We all make mistakes, have struggles, and even regret things in our past. But you are not your mistakes. You are not your struggles. You are here, now with the power to shape your day and your future. Marboli.
On healing. Pain is a pesky part of being human. I've learned it feels like a stab wound to the heart, something I wish we could all do without in our lives here. Pain is a sudden hurt that can't be escaped. But then, I have also learned that because of pain, I can feel the beauty, tenderness, and freedom of healing. Pain feels like a fast stab wound to the heart, but then healing feels like the wind against your face when you're spreading your wings and flying through the air. We may not have wings growing out of our backs, but healing is the closest thing that will give us the wind against our faces. Joyce C. Bell.
On strength. It is my own firm belief that the strength of the soul grows in proportion as you subdue the flesh. Mahatma Gandhi.
On solidarity. In the course of history, there comes a time when humanity is called to shift to a new level of consciousness, to reach a higher moral ground, a time when we have to shed our fear, unite, and give hope to each other. This world is not only possible, she is on her way, and on a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Wangari Maathai and Arundhati Roy.
On transformation. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. James Baldwin.
I invite you to stand for our benediction. Grace of God, deeper than our imagination, the strength of Christ, stronger than our need, and of the Holy Spirit, richer than our togetherness, guide and sustain us today and in all of our tomorrow.
abbreviated ceremony, I would ask the faculty, if they can, to please exit at this point. And as soon as the faculty have exited, if all of the upperclassmen will exit, and I will end with the first-year students exiting into our larger community. This is a form of symbolism that we use at the opening ceremony, albeit we usually do it a bit closer together. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are in your first year with us, I give you a great big welcome and a huzzah, and I say enter into our community as you exit from the stadium. Thank you. Good night, everyone, and enjoy your evening.